This might turn out shockingly well, actually.
But I'm in it, so of course.
John, have you been seeing the Whiplash discourse on Twitter recently?
I have not.
A whole bunch of people are telling other people that they've been misinterpreting it, and the abuser wins in the end. And this is the true meaning of the film, and it's very bad. How do you feel about this point of view?
I guess that means that I should erase Whiplash from my life.
Yeah. No, definitely. You should definitely.
Okay.
Here, don't.
If this thing bangs one more time, I'm going to have serious PTSD back to the change.
I think it'll only bang if you touch it, so just avoid touching it.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you think of Whiplash, Paul?
When are we going to do are we going to do an actual intro, or are we just going right into it?
Hi, guys. My name is Caleb, and I'm here with two people, and we're going to talk about some things. I thought I'd open up the conversation by asking Paul what he thought of Whiplash.
You forgot using the English language.
Yep. Paul, what did you think of Whiplash?
I thought it was a very clever movie.
Very clever.
I think especially the acting is really good from J.K. Simmons. And then I don't know the name of the protagonist's actor.
Well, he's from Fantastic Four. It's a very Fan-4-6, some call it. It's a very popular movie.
What?
He's also from Top Gun Maverick.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in that?
Yeah.
He
I didn't know he
is.
was
He's
still getting work.
Goose's son?
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
Goose's son. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I didn't know he was still getting work. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But I thought he was really, really good. I don't know anything about drumming, but I was convinced that he was a drummer, even, if it looked a little off.
He was a drummer, obviously. I don't think he was that good, but he
Right.
did have drumming experience.
Well, but part of acting is taking people that are mediocre in a skill and making them look good in a skill.
Or using a stunt double.
That's
That's
lame.
also...
No. Even with a stunt double, that's fundamentally making someone that's not good at something look good at something.
No, because you're just taking someone who's good at something and filming
Right, but
them
you're still
as they
pretending
are.
it's him.
Well, that doesn't have anything to... You know what? I'm glad you liked the acting and the drumming.
I think we're really scared of harsh instruction in the modern world, and I personally didn't he's crazy, like the instructor's crazy, but I didn't think it's not the craziest thing I've seen in a class. Well, in a classroom it is, but like in sports and stuff, nowhere near the craziest things I've seen. Yeah, no. And I've learned more from people that were quote unquote abusive in that way than people that were especially like in combat sports.
Wow.
You're going to improve more if you have someone that is forcing you to be better. Now, the way he's doing it is obviously excessive in the context of music, but the idea that he's going for, that's how mastering a skill works. You have to be pushed further than you think you can be pushed.
So is that sort of what you take away as the message of the film, personally?
I think there's also, he's a quote-unquote abuser, which he is abusive, so I guess that's accurate. But you also have the abusee kind of rising above it, kind of.
Sure.
I could see, like you mentioned, the Twitter, saying the abuser won. I think if you simplify Simmons' character down to just an abuser, that you can maybe interpret it that way, because technically speaking, he got what he wanted, right? He got his masterpiece student.
I always thought that was a pretty narrow-minded interpretation of the film.
I think it's a pretty lame interpretation, because I don't think he's just an abuser.
No, that wasn't... I mean, yeah. John, did you take anything new away from this rewatch of the film?
I wouldn't say I necessarily took anything new away. It more just cemented what I already took away from it.
And what would you say you took away personally as the message of the film?
I mean, I think I'm pretty close to where Paul is on this one. Yes, Simmons was an abuser, but he was also a teacher. He was also trying to have a masterpiece, and he technically did get that at the end of the movie. But I think part of it is also Neiman trying to overcome the obstacles that are in his way But then you could also say, well, who put those obstacles in his way? And it was Simmons. So at the end of the day, I think Simmons really got what he was wanting.
The abuser wins.
The abuser won.
Yeah. We can go through like IMDb 2-star, 1-star reviews of Whiplash. They're a little.
Wait, there are 2-star, 1-star reviews of that movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even if you hate the message, like, it's very well done, and it's, like I said, the acting is really good.
Let me put it this way:
undeniably.
they're not like very well thought out reviews.
That doesn't shock me.
It makes me a little angry.
I would say definitely after rewatching this movie, it is still cemented in my top 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this latest rewatch, I had to be honest with myself because I already had a top 5, but after rewatching this movie, I sort of had to be honest with myself and say like, no, this one kicked its way into the top 5. So
When you say top 5, are you differentiating between standalone movies and like trilogy series?
I make an exception for The Lord of the Rings, I guess. But like I could understand, say for instance, if you really liked The Empire Strikes Back, but you didn't really care for Return of the Jedi. You know, what are your top 5 favorite movies for both of you? This isn't something you've thought about, but
Paul, you want to go ahead and let me collect my thoughts?
because I know you're number 1, right?
My favorite movie,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I guess we can start from 1,
Uh-huh.
is 1996 Dennis Quaid Dragonheart, and then
It's about a dragon.
No, it's not about a dragon.
What?
There's a dragon in it.
Did you just subvert my expectations?
You've been so subverted.
I've
No.
been subverted.
It is about a dragon, but it's really not.
Okay.
It's a very deep story about honor and doing what is right, even when it's hard.
So to say,
But it's
about-
wearing the fantastical trappings of
so to
there
say
being a dragon.
Yeah, it's about a dragon would be like saying Everything Everywhere All at Once is about the multiverse. It's really about nihilism.
Yeah, it would be super. That very
yeah.
surface level interpretation. Of
Summary on the back of the.
I would
disc.
argue it's also like saying J.K. Simmons' character is just an abuser.
Okay, what are your other ones?
Number 2, I don't really have a top 5 like solidified. I think Whiplash, even though I've only seen it once, that's probably in there.
Did it make its way there?
Yeah, 100. Like
Okay.
it's just,
Let's
and it's
go.
not a premise that I would normally care about.
Sure.
Like it's jazz. I like jazz, but not enough to be like, whoa, a drummer. Yeah. But
Okay.
even so, like it's just so well done.
You took a lot away from it.
Yeah.
It's obviously a very well made film.
Yeah.
I've said before that it's the only film that I wouldn't change a single thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Snyder couldn't improve that one.
No, I don't think so.
Number 2 though. So I don't know where in the top 5. I'd say probably 3, but I don't know what I'm putting at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would
That
say
makes
you
sense?
could also, if you want, you could just throw out your top 5, and they don't have to be in a specific order.
Yeah,
Because it is. I feel like for me, I'm not going to throw mine out in a specific order because I would have to really sit down and think.
And you could throw in a trilogy if you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Lord of the Rings, if you counted it as one movie, would be in there.
Sure. I think that's fair. I think anyone would accept
you could
that
do
as
that.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you could do Dragonheart, Lord of the Rings, the entire trilogy, not including the Hobbit movies because that's terrible.
How dare you?
They're so bad. They're hardly movies.
What?
Okay, but I'm getting sidetracked.
All right.
Yeah,
Moving on.
And then the 2014 Cinderella with Lily James.
Oh, I forgot you really like that one.
I think that's a phenomenal movie. I probably shouldn't say that. So Dragonheart, Whiplash, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Cinderella. I just had another one and then I forgot it.
Is Star Wars going to make it in there at all? Make an appearance?
I really like Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think so.
Okay.
As much as I really like Star Wars, but no, I don't think it's there.
Fair
I think there's too many problems with it. so
Okay.
I can't quite get there.
Gotcha.
But I do appreciate it for what it is.
Uh-huh.
What is that? What is number 5? I had one. And then, this is not a great movie. It's okay. It is a good movie, but it's not like objectively an amazing movie.
Uh-huh.
But Real Steel with Hugh Jackman, I really like.
Okay.
It's basically Rocky with robots, but it also has the added theme of, he's a boxer, but that world is gone, and so it's an interest. It's an early 2000s feel good movie about but humanity is still there.
Sure.
I think I've seen clips from that movie, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, especially like the special effects, I think, are very good for the time that it was made.
You liked the Social Network well enough, right? Because we watched
that
that a few
was
days ago.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it had as much of an impression on me as Whiplash did.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was good.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you liked it. It's one of my favorites personally. John, have you formulated your top 5 yet?
I have a top 4. I'm still deciding on that 5th one.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Logan is my most favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
That might replace Real Steel, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, it definitely does.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great movie. Same actor, too.
Yeah, Logan is a fantastic movie. It's one of the few movies that I've cried over. It is just amazing start to finish. Whiplash, obviously. A movie that has recently wormed its way into my top 5 is Green Book.
Really?
Yeah, I really like that movie.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 though.
Yeah.
It must have meant a lot to you in some way.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I really like Green Book. I'm not going to do a trilogy in my top 5 because I want to force myself to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to put Revenge of my Sith up. Revenge of my Sith. Revenge of my Sith, bro.
Yeah, Revenge.
Revenge of the
he's
Sith is
revealing
definitely
his real side.
Yeah, it's definitely my top 5. The 5th one I'm not sure yet.
Attack of the Clones, of course.
Yeah.
I'm still sort of reeling from your Green Book decision.
Yeah, I really
What
like
is Green Book? I don't.
It's about Viggo Mortensen. He's a guy who's hired as a bodyguard for a black pianist who's going to travel around the South, and so he has a little bit of a bias and different. It's practically a rom-com, or what would you say, like a coming of age? Like it's a very
not
sort
a rom-com.
Well, no, I know it's sort of that genre though of just like interpersonal drama.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But so it's got that element of it. I think you'd like it just for Viggo Mortensen's performance. He's very good.
Yeah.
It's a
Viggo
good
Mortensen
movie.
is fantastic. So makes sense.
I would give it, like me personally, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. But, maybe I should just watch it again. It's quite possible.
Yeah. The Matrix used to be in my top 5. Now I'm not sure anymore.
That movie. So I have a problem with The Matrix. I was writing a story recently, right, and it sort of had the same virtual reality concept, right? And this is something that always sort of bothered me about The Matrix, but to me it made no sense that if they died in The Matrix, they died in real life. And also it made no sense that the robots whose, like, presumably they can kill them while they're in the pod. If they really want Neo dead, why couldn't they just, like, find him while he's stuck in the goo? And this was sort of enough to... I didn't like it that much.
That's because SAO does that entire premise better.
SAO?
Sword Art Online. It's an anime.
Oh, I've heard good things.
I've heard about that one.
I appreciate it, obviously, because it's very iconic, especially for, like, some of the shots and the new technology it did. And
When was it made?
2000? 1999? One of those 2 years, I think.
That makes sense.
Do the Attack on Titan specials count as movies?
I guess if you wanted to. How long are they?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah,
I
think
like
it's over 45 minutes. Right?
Between
Yeah, I
the
think
two specials, I really like the first one.
Okay.
I guess it depends on if we're counting anime in this, because I have seen some anime movies that are really good, like Mugen Train and the Jujutsu Kaisen movie are both really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking more live action.
Yeah.
Which also, saying Viggo Mortensen reminded me of Hidalgo's existence, which is another amazing
Honestly,
movie.
if I can count animation, maybe
Goodness.
I can just plug Kung Fu Panda 2 in there.
Oh.
You can obviously count animation. Like, if you were to say WALL-E was in your top 5, I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, why 2, though?
Because it's my favorite.
It's got
Which
a
one's 2?
fire soundtrack.
It's with the peacock. And
That's the one with the gunpowder and the
Yeah,
cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going back to that story really quick, I was working on like a it was kind of like a Matrix thing, and the thing you obviously want to do is the program has gone bad, and so they're trying to kill you. But the more you think about it, the more it makes just no sense. So it's really hard to work within that premise. And I don't know, I haven't seen Sword Art Online. I need to see more like virtual reality movies, I guess.
I definitely like Inception more than The Matrix.
Inception is a better film for sure, and that one makes more sense. I don't remember there being any plot holes in Inception.
There's the one girl, what's her name?
Maul?
Yeah, no, not Maul. The
Ellen Page?
Ellen Page. Yeah, she's kind of just a walking exposition dump.
Yeah, I guess yeah, you can
That was the
critique
style at
characters
that
for
time,
sure.
though.
Well, it's
Which-
Christopher Nolan's style, to be
Yeah,
fair.
which is
What are you
like
talking about? Christopher Nolan does no exposition. You're making that up.
Yeah, man.
which is I guess my only really problem with that movie. I do really love Inception.
Mm-hmm. You're right. He sort of tends to favor. I think Oppenheimer is an exception to this, but he likes to favor the premise of the film sort of above the characters typically.
Yeah, the characters are kind of his tools, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what character traits can you list from Interstellar? You know.
Hey, he was main character was smart.
So
And he
we're
was
like,
Matthew McConaughey.
So we're like,
And that's a great. Those are great character traits to have as a man.
It's true
Being
that if
Matthew
you're
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey,
That's a good
you
character.
sort of
trait.
got it figured out.
Yeah, you don't really got to do much there.
does that make The Rock a character trait?
I think being The Rock is a character trait. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, Tom Cruise too.
Yeah.
Like none of them. Matthew McConaughey obviously is a fantastic actor, but he doesn't have to act, depending on the movie.
Yeah.
Especially these days. And Tom Cruise, he's actually a fairly good actor, but he doesn't have to act anymore. Like he's gotten to the point with all the franchises that he's been part of that he doesn't really have to act much.
This is sort of what people were saying about Robert Downey Jr. before he took on Oppenheimer, which was such a different role for him from what he had for, what was it, like 15 years in the MCU?
Yeah, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not fair though.
Well, obviously, like he proved everyone wrong, because Oppenheimer, he played a very different character in Strauss.
I've not seen.
You're gonna see it
Oppenheimer.
Thursday.
You'll
like
I
it.
will
We'll have
see
to-
it.
we should
but
do
having
a-
not seen it, I think that's not a very fair take.
Caleb, we should do a video.
Same.
We should record a podcast after we see Oppenheimer
I
and
agree
talk
with
about
this. Yeah. It'd be good to get your opinion.
How long is it?
It's 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it with Zach. It's gonna be quite fun.
it. Mm-hmm.
John, did you finish your top 5? Is Kung Fu Panda 2 making it in there? Sorry for the rattle.
Over Inception.
I think I'll just put Inception in there.
Really?
Because I still really like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I may need to, if I need to rewatch it, because I haven't watched it in a while, and I was going to, and then I never got around to it. So I'll rewatch it, and I'll get back to y'all on my top 5 in another video.
Sure. I think one of my sister Evelyn's favorites is Inception. It's a good, just like base. What would it be? It's not. Is it sci-fi? I guess it'd technically be sci-fi.
Kinda.
I don't really like genres and putting movies in genres, but I guess it would be sci-fi.
I've personally not seen it, so
Really?
Yeah, both it and The Matrix. I've not seen either.
But
of
you've
them.
seen Interstellar?
But I've seen Interstellar. I like Interstellar.
I'm surprised you haven't
I think
seen The Matrix.
Inception
3-4
is far
years
and away
ago?
better than Interstellar.
Interstellar
Yeah.
would probably be in my top 5.
That's too bad.
I enjoyed it, but I was
think
also younger.
you
and
should
sillier.
see Inception.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well, that
familiar
one's on
with the
HBO
premise, I
Max,
just
so
haven't
maybe we
watched
could
it.
Yeah, we
watch
could.
that tonight. Well, we've got a lot of movies to
We
watch.
have,
but...
yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I think it's good to have like a basic top 5. What other top 5s could we do? Do you have
Top 5 shows.
top 5 shows?
Most of those would be
songs
animated.
is another good one. Why are you dissing animated like this?
I said most of those would be animated.
okay. Well,
for
that's,
me.
that's okay. It's
That's
okay to
what I'm
like
saying.
animated shows.
Yeah.
So, what are your top 5 shows?
Well, actually, let's start with the live action. Firefly.
No. Don't separate them. They're the same ones, right?
Yeah,
So
no,
it
I'm
just
gonna put
goes
it in the
one-
same list. I'm just saying
I need to see
coincidentally am placing a live action at the top.
Okay, Firefly. I've heard that's very good.
Yeah,
You've seen
Firefly.
Serenity, right?
I have. Serenity is not as good as Firefly.
I've heard the exact opposite. That's so strange.
It's not a very popular opinion of the fan base, but
That was created by Joss Whedon.
the
Firefly
movie's
was.
fine with as a standalone sci-fi action. It's a very exceptional sci-fi action movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good as the show. The show is more like what Mandalorian's vibe kind of wanted to be. Like it's space cowboys, but there's more going on,
I'm gonna be
which you see more in
yeah.
Serenity. But you didn't get to see all of that in the Firefly show. But it's hinted there, and it's still present, which I think is very good storytelling. They're not telling you; they're showing you.
I need to see Firefly. That's on my list after Buffy and Angel because I'm sort of going through Joss Whedon's old stuff. So
I've not seen any of the Buffy stuff, so
it's very good.
I have heard. Yeah,
All right, so Firefly.
yeah, Firefly.
Quick question: are we allowed to count anime in this, or are we counting anime as its own category?
No, anime is it's just shows. It's,
Okay.
No
Code
biases
Geass
here.
would be
Code Geass.
yeah, that one. I'm kind of tempted to put AOT on there, but I don't know that I quite will.
Well, you haven't finished it.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have? I was.
Paul,
not
you have
informed
the
of this.
habit of finishing shows we tell you to watch or watching movies and then not telling us, and so we act all surprised.
Yeah.
When 3 months later, you mentioned.
Maybe I like mystery. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So Firefly, Code Geass. I kind of want to say Farscape, but only like the first 3 seasons, so I don't think I quite can because in its entirety, it's not my favorite.
the Halo show that goes in. The
Oh
top five,
no,
right?
no. That's
So
like
are
a
we-
guilty pleasure thing. It's like I'm very sad that I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like kind of like Hurricane.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, you like what you like. There's no point in being
Like,
embarrassed.
are we
about it.
allowed to say, like, oh, I liked the first few seasons of whatever?
Yeah.
and
I mean,
count
if
that as its
I
own?
thought the first 2 seasons of Succession were the best television I'd ever watched, it would be
Okay.
there. Honestly,
first season of
yeah,
Game of
kinda.
Thrones. That's also in my top 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So Firefly, Code Geass, first season of Game of Thrones. Man, I'm trying to think of TV shows that are good.
Not AOT. AOT's not going.
Sword Art Online.
Okay.
Above AOT?
No, I wasn't putting it in order.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Oh, okay.
throwing it up
Yeah.
there.
Gotcha.
And then I guess AOT.
okay. Cool. John, what you got?
My number one, the other ones aren't in order, but this one is at the top, is Breaking Bad.
Nice.
That will forever be my most favorite show.
Good.
It gripped me in absolutely everything. After Breaking Bad, I got to put the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. Now, I will say if House of the Dragon remains true to the books, then House of the Dragon might kick Game of Thrones out. But
Just because, is it sort of like you've got your fantasy show in there now? Like, kicking it out, does that mean kicking it down or kicking it out of the top 5?
probably kicking it out.
That's what I thought, because you sort of it sort of takes the place of that fantasy show and does it better in concept.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It really depends on how they end the show. Attack on Titan, definitely up there. After that, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And I always have trouble on this fifth one because there's a lot of shows that I like that I want to put in that spot, but I'm not sure.
Cobra Kai?
If you had asked me this question before Cobra Kai season 5 had come out, I would have said Cobra Kai. And I know that I'm allowed to count certain seasons, but like that season 5 really was not good for my my mental health.
It was quite bad.
Because I used to be one of the biggest Cobra Kai fans out there, and I have all the Cobra Kai merch and everything. And that, yeah, season 5 really discouraged me from that. Fifth spot, I'm tempted to put Better Call Saul.
But you still haven't finished, right?
I finished it for the most part.
For the most part. I gotta tape you to a chair.
I don't know. I'll probably be fair and go with the first 4 seasons of Cobra Kai.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, my camera's about to die. So maybe we should wrap it up there. But it was good getting the thoughts on Whiplash, and we can record other things later on. That, and I can take a look at this video and see what I need to improve about it. But I liked this. I thought it worked out well. Let's leave the mics here, and we'll record something else later.
All right.
For all of you people out there, I love you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. All right.
See y'all later.
Okay.